Hey everybody, let's run over at Becoming Enlightened together. We're doing a Monday reading and we're looking at the overall energy for today. Uh, the overall energy is not bad at all. Okay, we have some obstacles and challenges, but this one is a collective reading. Okay, we don't have as much information concerning the karmics except for the overall energy for the entire week. And that is that of Rado in the reverse. Now, Rado in the reverse, what it talks about is plans being upset, delays, unexpected travel, sudden travel, someone being lost at this time, somebody in a state of crisis, somebody who's very rigid, in a state of stagnation even. Somebody who is both dishing out and probably receiving at this point, since they're getting karma, some injustices. Somebody who's very irrational, somebody who likes to produce disruptions in other people's lives and their own, for that matter. They get off on it. Somebody who is suffering from a lot of illusions. Uh, Somebody who may have been demoted at work or maybe even lost their job. And it also refers to or hints at the possibility of death. And as I stated yesterday, that does not, it can mean the death of a cycle, the rebirth of a new cycle, which we know is going to happen. But in this particular case, like I stated yesterday, and I gave you the reasons why, and there was multiple reasons why, this looks like a physical expiration for somebody. Who it is, I don't know. I can't say with 100% certainty. It's somebody who's in karmic energy, somebody who's been living a karmic lifestyle, somebody who just does not want to change. Okay? That's all I can say in regards to that. Now, the energy that we pulled yesterday for today is that of Arcana. And Arcana in the upright is the goddess Birchta. Birchta is the great mother, she's called other names in different cultures that are in the same general location or area, if you will. She's likened in many cases to that of Mother Gaia in terms of, looking after the flora, the fauna, the animals, the young, the women who have passed over, things of that nature. It talks about purity, the birch tree, uh, which can be used for healing and things of that nature in many cases. It talks about fertility and birth. It talks about growth, both mentally, physically, and or spiritually. It talks about regeneration and renewal. It talks about new beginnings. So I know it's a little confusing when I talked about death, for example, just a few minutes ago, and how it sometimes does talk about the death and renewal of a cycle, and we're seeing, in regards to that as a possibility here as well. But there's too many other things that pointed to a real, like I said, physical death for somebody. So, and I don't want to soften, things to the point of becoming dishonest about it. So I have to show and share what it is that is shared with me. That's the way it works, right? So what else does Birchka represent here, or Berkana, I should say? Spiritual liberation, regeneration, rewards, new beginnings, the proposal of a new enterprise or venture, possible love affair, and the arousal of desire. So we're seeing a lot as far as, physical connections for this week. So if you're looking for that, well, you're in luck, it looks like. So, all right. Now, the present energy, another positive one, is that of Wunjo. And Wunjo, too, is in the upright. Now, Wunjo in the upright talks about things such as, well, it talks about the wind. so to speak. Again, things that are related to air. So the intellect, somebody who's good with their words, articulate, and things like that. Somebody who's a thinker, intellectual, and so on. But it also refers to, just in general, emotions. And the emotions that we're talking about in the upright are very good. Somebody who's in a state of harmony and bliss, joy. Somebody who is enjoying their many blessings and prosperity. Somebody who's living in a state of glory and receiving spiritual rewards and success. Somebody who is recognizing their own self-worth. Somebody who's experiencing affection, desire, pleasure, ecstasy, and fellowship. So again, we're seeing some very, very positive energy, and of course, if you have a significant other or whatever the case may be, it looks like you guys are going to be pretty busy this week. So enjoy. Now, as far as your obstacles and challenges go, we have Isa, and Isa is or Esau. It's in the reverse. Okay. Now, Esau in the reverse, it talks about things such as breaches of loyalty, egomaniaism. Okay, egomaniaism, is that a word? Yeah. Somebody who's got a very ego-driven type of personality. Somebody who may be even narcissistic or have very strong narcissistic tendencies. So those are the obstacles and challenges. Somebody who's dull and blind. Somebody who is dissipating. Their energy is being used unwisely. Somebody who's treacherous. Somebody who is suffering from illusions and deceptions as well as deceiving others. Somebody who has no problem betraying another. They themselves are being betrayed. They're getting everything that they gave. Okay, this is what karma is. So somebody's also in a state of guile. Somebody who's stealthy and ambushes, their victims and so on. So plans, plots, schemes, things in regards to that. That's the energy of the obstacles and challenges. Now, again, this could be a breach of loyalty towards you, the collective, I'm presuming. The egomania is coming from the karmic who's doing, this, let's just say these treacherous acts, these deceiving acts. So, and our help and advice, what we get is again, Arcana, and it's in the upright. So the energy I pulled yesterday for today is the actual help and advice that we have for today. And again, Arcana is the great, mother, the white goddess, birch tree, purity, birth, fertility, growth. And it's not a racial thing. When I say white, she was just very, very, like you would imagine, for example, like your soul star chakra being like the sun, so intense, you'd have to shield your eyes from it, that kind of a thing. That's how powerful it is. Or just like you couldn't look into the sun. And, we see spirits oftentimes, especially those, of the higher resonating caliber, whatever, have a tendency to have this kind of, glow, if you will, about them. So, all right, so Berkana is a very positive rune. Like I said, in the upright, it talks about fertility and growth, new beginnings. It talks about desire, affection, pleasure, ecstasy. It talks about love affairs, the arousal of desire, and the proposal of a new venture, new beginnings, rewards, things of that nature. So very, very positive. So that's our help and advice. Those are the things that we can expect to experience, and at different levels for each of us, depending on where we are in the the timeline right now. And the future outcome is also very, very positive. It too is in the upright with Uruz. Now, Uruz in the upright talks about the ancient Aruk, and the Aruk is an ox that was very, very large. It was very powerful. So it talks about the strength and vitality. It talks about health. It talks about untamed potential, energy being available, freedom, action being taken, courage, tenacity. It talks about understanding and wisdom. It talks about sudden or unexpected changes, as we saw also in the negative energy for the overall weekly in Rado reversed. It also talks about the formulation of oneself. So having the power available to see what changes you want to manifest in your life and making them happen for yourself. And it talks about both masculine potency and sexual desire. So all of these things are talked about in this week. We saw that no less than 3 different runes out of the 6 that I have for each day that we're talking about, that type of kinship that you will be experiencing this week. So enjoy that, all that hanky panky. Okay, uh, get down with your bad selves. So anyway, I don't want to elaborate too much on all of this. It was pretty positive, so take that positivity and enjoy it. But be aware, of course, when things are really good, just like when they're really bad, there's only one way for them to go, right? So once they get to a certain level, then you know that we got over that peak. We're going to start to experience the downhill slope, if you will, of things. And then if you have been in a downhill slope, like some of us have for a long, long time, you know that you're going to start experiencing that peak. Okay. So with that being said, as always, stay victorious out there. I will see you very, very soon, probably tomorrow. As long as time permits. I do have other responsibilities, so I'm trying to take care of. So, and with that being said, we will see one another someday, meet face to face, perhaps in Valhalla, and do battle with the great monsters and giants and things of that nature. Yeah, the dark side, so to speak. It's the Norse version of Armageddon, so to speak, or whatever. A little twist, but anyway, that's all I've got. So I'll see you guys again tomorrow. And meantime, you all take care and God bless. Okay.